Hi, welcome in. Today we're going to be talking about some initial steps, 6 initial steps to find your purpose. I wrote this article a couple of years ago, and as I updated, I'm like, wow, I've really learned a lot. So I was really happy about that. But I want to tell you a story that I think is very well intertwined in this blog. So as many of you know, or maybe not, a cat was just dumped in our house. It was a cute little kitty. And so of course, me, love of animals, I love everything, spiders, yes, I do feed my spiders. I know I'm a weird person, but they're outside. But so this kitty came wandering up, and she stole my heart. And I'm not a cat person normally. Long story. But so she came, and she was so cute. So we're like, what are we going to do? Blah, blah, blah. So my son said, I'm just going to go ahead and adopt her. I'm like, oh, awesome. So we took her to the vet, blah, blah, blah. But within 3 days, and you can still see my face. Look how swollen this side of my face is. I know I have big cheeks and stuff, but this side of my face is so, and you can hear it. My face got so swollen. So we had to do something about the cat. It was a kitty. I was highly allergic to the cat. So what happened is we had to figure out what we're going to do, right? So I'm going to kind of wrap this into goal setting. So what happened is, our goal was to find the cat, the little kitten, a beautiful, loving home. So that was the goal. But when I went through my 7-year life tsunami, one of the very liberating lessons that I learned, and that taught me great wisdom, was that you never set goals externally first. I know. Jays are going to be like, what are you talking about? How can you do that? Let me explain how this works. So what I've learned going through my 7-year life tsunami, and I've applied all these lessons. So I'm not teaching you something I've not done myself. And I try to give you these life scenarios so you'll see how it's working in my life. So I was having car issues too, so I had to go to the car dealer. But before I left the house, of course, I used my prayer. God, show me. I love this little kitty. She needs to go to a loving home. I just don't want to give her away without sending her to a beautiful home. And I'm not going to take her to a shelter. I'm not doing any of that. She's not going to live in a cage. It's not happening. So I was trying to set external parameters. You know how we as humans doing, and that's not the right way, right? But I did ask from my heart. So it's very heart-centered. God, please show me. So I was doing my thing. I came home. I was talking to my son. I'm like, oh my God, I guess we have to use Facebook. I'm not a big Facebook fan. So let's just do some posts on Facebook and let's see what happens. And I, of course, emailed all my friends. And what happened is, this is no lie. Within an hour, I had 3 people that wanted that cat. All of them were very beautiful people. And we decided to adopt it out to this beautiful young girl. And her and her roommate they work out of their home, blah, blah. And what's really cool is they have another kitten. His name is Theodore. So Allie was going to have a brother, Theodore, which I'm like, oh my God, this is best case scenario. So they were so beautiful. They came over and she brought Theodore, which Allie was just like, what is, she looked at me like, Mom. I'm like, I can't help you. This is what's going to happen. And they were kind of getting along, not getting along. You know how cats are, kind of like dogs, or sniff each other out, going, what is this all about? And I was really happy with the outcome because the girl that adopted him, she grew up with cats. She showed me a picture of her cats, and they were really excited. They work out of their home. They were really looking for a little girl cat, and Allie was just so adorable. She stole their house just like she stole mine. This little creature. And the one was really cool is I was bawling. I'm so gonna start crying now because I didn't want to get rid of her. But so they were so kind. They said, "Oh, we'll keep you updated." And 3 hours later, they sent me this really beautiful picture of the 2 cats all curled up together on the couch. I was like, oh, thank you. And then I was like, how did you do that? I go, I didn't do that. God did that. Like, I had nothing to do with that. And this is when I teach. Like, if you go up and say to God, or whoever you want to call, whatever you want to call that person, that energy of all there is, divine intelligence, please show me. And if you do it with an intentional heart, if you do it from a heart-loving space, you're going to get shown. And look what showed up in my life. And when I think about like everything that's going on in the world, God took the time to get this little creature the best results. So just think what he can do for you, or she, or Mother, Father, God. Just think of that. Think of the magnitude of that. When I think of those things, I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's just beyond amazing, right? It's just beyond amazing how this works. So this is what I'm teaching. I'm teaching that you have to go to your spirit mind, the sixth sense of you, and tap into that first, and ask, and then let it go. Sorry, I was crying. I couldn't help it. And the little cat like just stole my heart. And then take action. You always have to take action. You can't just go, oh, it's going to show up in my life and I just have to sit back and do it. No, it's not how it works. I know we've been taught that how it works. Like a lot of this new age stuff is like, you know, it just manifests. Well, it doesn't just manifest. It comes to you, but if you don't take action and pull the energy down and work it out through you, it just sits there. It's waiting for you to take action. And sometimes the action is looking at the dark side of stuff. The lies that you've been telling yourself. Oh God, I did that for so long in my life. That is such a nasty place to be, but it was the place I needed to be so I could get to be here. So now I can help you see some things that I didn't see because I just didn't know. You know, you don't know what you don't know. So you live what you don't know. But now you know, you kind of have to live what you know. Follow that one. But you know what I'm saying? So you really have to do these things. And that experience with that little kitty was just so profound. I mean, I just like, you know, of course I've been crying. And of course my face is swollen. I've been crying for days because I just love that little thing. She was just, and I totally got her. Like we got each other. You know? But I know she's in a good place. I know she was the best. This was the best case scenario. I couldn't keep her, unfortunately. So now I know I'm allergic to cats. Greatly allergic to cats. You can still see how I'm like really swollen here. I mean, this side is too, but this side is really swollen. Yikes. Anyhow, so if I sound all stuffy and fluffy, that's why, because it's the cat still. I'm still trying to get over the cat. What happened? So back to the blog. So, you know, this week we're going to talk about 6 initial steps. And one of the things I really want to hone into is why I brought the whole cat story up. And I've asked a lot of questions here, post-pandemic questions. So if you're going to follow along with this, I would definitely recommend you journal through this. This is a lesson. I like my blogs to be lessons. So this is another lesson. So I would definitely bring a journal to this and be journaling as these questions come up, what's coming up in you. It's important. It's how you starting to get to know yourself better and find your purpose. So I have 6 steps, right? They're initial steps. And one of the things I talked about was skip the goal setting. Like skip the goal setting. Don't start off with the goal because then you're doing this. You're looking out. I didn't start there. I started with the prayer and said, show me. So I didn't say, oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do I didn't do any of that. I didn't do any of that. I started with the prayer and I got shown because the things came to me. I'm never on Facebook, ever. I don't like Facebook, but I went on Facebook because that's what I was shown to do. So you really have to go inside to get to the outside. I know that's crazy, right? So if you want to find your purpose, you need to go within to figure that out. Because the world will show you, right? But you need to start to go within first. So I do not recommend you start with goal setting to start with. I recommend you go within, You listen to your spirit mind and you ask questions. My question was, I don't really have a question. I kind of did, but I didn't. I was like, no, I did. Because I said, I need to place this cat. Where can I place this cat so she will have the best care? I wanted her in a family home. I didn't want her in a shelter. I didn't want her to be living in a cage, even though she went to a shelter. I didn't want any of that stuff, right? So that's where I started with this whole thing. So you got to start from like, what do you want the outcome to look like? And then let that go, because it's probably not going to be what you thought. I know. So, and when you want to find your purpose, there's another thing I talk about. I think it's number 6 on here. Yeah. I think it's interesting because we just see our purpose. We look at that as so career oriented. Like, what's the goal? Like, what's the goal of what career do we want? And then we go about doing it. We go to school. We get the job. We do the work. It's really not our purpose in life. Our purpose in life is to know our divine self and know that we are a spark of divine energy. We are part of God. I mean, I know that we're not taught that. I mean, believe me, I was raised Catholic. I was never taught that. I was taught, see that guy on the altar, go pray. I'm like, well, that's a statue. I got in so much trouble being a Catholic. Oh my gosh. The stories I could tell. But, it's because I always ask questions. I would question, I was like, why am I praying to that? And like, why do I need a priest as an intermediary? Why can't I just pray to God? I got questions on that too. Because you're not an evolved soul. How the hell do you know what I am? Only God knows that. Why are you telling me that? So, I mean, I know if you're Catholic or if you have a very faith-based religion, I'm not being disrespectful, but I am asking the questions like, you don't know me. Mother, Father, God knows me. So I don't need you to be an intermediary for me. You could advise me through your wisdom and lessons gained. So, yeah, I have a problem with that. And I also have a problem with like you saying your purpose is just one little thing, your career. It's not. It's not. I want to look up something here real quick because I want to make sure I got this right. But I think I do have it right. There's a personality type, which I just like. I love this personality type. Yeah, it's an ISFP. So all you ISFPs out there, woohoo! I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of all the personality types, honestly. But I call this personality type, how I'm looking at it from a spiritual perspective, the abstract type. These types are very unassuming. They are, my dog's having a little fit there. They're very unassuming, but they're very vivacious, and they're very aware. Like they're they're style icons. They just they're very individualistic. They kind of come into a room, they float into the room, like doing their thing, totally unaware of everybody else, I'm going to tell you. But everyone else is very aware of them. Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis was of this type. But why I'm saying this is her purpose is beyond just a career. Just think about the idea of her floating in the room. She's so individualistic that she makes everybody else want to be individualistic. I know. Is that her purpose? No, that's part of her essence. But that's still part of her purpose, right? Part of her purpose is to have that pure energy of who she really is just come oozing out. So it flourishes and brings the room up. That's way more than a career thing. That's a captivating, enchanting part of your persona. That's part of your purpose too. Because everybody that you encounter, don't you want to leave behind a more positive vibe and energy? I don't care if it's just the grocery store. I don't care if it's at the gas station. I don't care where you are, what you're doing. It doesn't matter. It's how you're serving everybody around you and how you're bringing everybody up into your energy. So knowing your purpose, to me, is really the idea of knowing how your sacred personality type, and yes, I'm using the word sacred now because your personality type is sacred, how that works with your sixth sense, your spirit mind, to keep you on that level of knowing yourself, that authentic self, the true self. It just keeps you up on that level. You know, like I'm telling you, Jacqueline Kennedy would walk around and people were like, oh my God, who is that? She wouldn't say anything. She would never wear something that was ostentatious or over the top or uber trendy, ever. That's not who she was. She had this just very sublime fashion sense. She just knew it worked. She knew how to put everything together. It's part of her purpose. And other people saw that and said, ooh, you know, I'd like to explore that about myself. Maybe not in the same way, but maybe in a more expanded way for myself. So she ushered that energy in for us all to explore. That's why I find personality typing so like fantastically interesting. It's just fabulous, right? Because it's all about like seeing the differences and like, oh, that's interesting. I need to explore that for myself. Some of the stuff's not going to resonate, obviously, because we're all different. And we have stuff that we kind of tend to go to. We are attracted to some things more than other things. That's okay. But sometimes it's okay to go to the things we're not attracted to and figure out why. You know, I am not a systems person. I am not conventional. I hate red tape. I wasn't good at school. I wasn't good in college. I was always getting in trouble because I was always bucking the system. But that's just who I am. And I'm not doing it to be a brat or a little bitchy girl or a troublemaker. I just ask questions. Because conventionality for me is putting me in a box. And for my personality type, freedom and sovereignty and independence is like uber important. So what's important for you? That's part of finding your purpose. Your purpose just isn't a career thing. It's part of knowing your authentic self. In fact, I believe that is your purpose. It's knowing who you truly are. Because when you do that, you get this confident, calm, centered way of being in the world. And when you know these gifts, everything just comes with it. So your career comes with it. The way you style yourself, the way you show up in the world, the way you style your home, everything about it. Because if you're authentic, it's obviously, right? It bleeds into everything you do in life. And when you live from that place of your true self, everybody that you encounter in some way, somehow, is better for it. Because you're leading with your truth. There's a purity about you. I know, that's a hard place to get to. And a few of us, I'm not there. Oh my God, I wish I was. But it's what we should strive for. Not even strive, it's what we should evolve into being. Just evolve into being the best selves. I know that seems like, oh my God, I'll never get there. No one ever gets there. So believe me, don't even think about that. Don't think about that perfection, because that's just doesn't exist. But it's really cool if you start thinking about that. Wow, if I'm truly me, who I was meant to be, just doing that when you show up, you're already having a very positive impact on everybody. That's your purpose. So I gave you some 6 steps in the blog. Some of them are, because I did it a couple years ago. So that's why I wanted to augment this with a video. Some of them are going to be external, like, don't compete and, those kind of things, which is true too. And the funny thing is, all the things I'm saying, once you know yourself, why would you compete? Why would you try to be like somebody else? You'd be like, why would I want to do that? That becomes like such a foreign concept to you that it becomes laughable. But it's what we've been taught. We're told to become obedient to that. No. Become obedient to yourself. Because once you find that authentic self, you're your own guru. And as far as spiritual practice, everything comes to you once you know yourself. You'll know what practices work for you. I know, exciting. So, I hope you like this. I love doing these things. I think it's just so interesting to really get into our personality types. It's sacred. Your soul chose your personality type. I know I told you this all the time. You guys sick of hearing it. But your soul chose your personality type. Why? Because it's what it needs to fulfill its evolutionary mission here on Earth. So your personality type fits with your soul mission. They go together like peanut butter and jelly. But just remember, your soul leads the way. It's not your rational mind. It's your spiritual mind. Because your rational mind more than likely keeps you stuck if it's not fed messages from divine intelligence. That's what your spirit mind does. Your spirit mind acts like a filter. It gets these extremely powerful knowings from the unknown, your sixth sense, your spirit mind, and it communicates that to the rational mind. And then the rational mind can take inspired action, just like I did with the kitty. Oh, I don't like Facebook. Here's my logical mind. I don't like Facebook. I'm not going to Facebook. I hate Facebook. Guess what? I was on Facebook because that's what I was told to do. So now I just follow what I'm told to do from my spirit mind, from my sixth sense. Get on Facebook. Okay. So I did. And within an hour, and it was easy. Knowing me, if I would have stayed in my logical mind, I would have fought that advice. And the cat would still probably be here. My face would be this much more swollen. But it's true, right? That's just how it works. We fight ourselves because we don't believe that it could be that easy. It is that easy. And within an hour. And I swear to God, well-meaning friends. Oh my God, you know how many cats are out there right now? Oh my God, there's a. And I did. I called my vet, and she was so sweet. Took me in because I love my vet. And she's like, God, Nina, all the shelters are full. The only thing that's open is a kill shelter. I'm like, she goes, and I know you. And I'm like, yeah, don't even say that word around me. She's like, I know. But I'm just saying, I'm just giving you, I'm like, and so look, the logical fear. I'm like, nope. I've already said my prayer. I'm sure I'll be led. So she got her shot. She was really healthy. She's so cute. I didn't even take a video of her either, which I'm kind of glad I didn't, because then I'd be crying still. She was so adorable. But that little creature, see how God just took care of that little tiny creature. Just think what he has in store for you. I don't believe your purpose is just for a career. It is not. It's coming into who you really are, your true self, your authentic beingness, which is what? Authentic beingness is a spark of divine. And that, my friends, is beautiful beyond any sunset or sunrise. So anyway, appreciate you all. My book's getting ready to churning this thing out. It's at an editor's right now. Let me know if anybody wants to be a beta tester, because I really want to pull in different personality types, so you can look at the book if you want to be on the forefront of this and you want to beta test my book. I'd love to have you. So just leave a comment or just send me a message in the comment section, or however you do that on YouTube. Of course, like, subscribe, do the belly thing, We got to do all that stuff. It's YouTube. Here again, we're directed on like what we have to do. And you know me, I hate all that stuff, but it is what it is. Yeah, and if you like this video, send it along. If you want to be a beta tester for my book, oh my God, it'd be so much fun. I need your feedback. I need to know what you're thinking. Because I can get pretty deep because I've been studying this now for like 10 years. So I can go like off tangent, and that's just the way my ENTP, inquisitive mind, works. But I want to bring it down so it's really practical. So I want it to be something that you'll go, oh my God, I can use this every day. Or you can refer back to it and go, what was that again about my personality? It does this? Oh, I see now. That's why I'm saying stuck. I'm not doing this, and I'm not using my spirit mind. So I'd love, if you'd like to be a beta tester, let me know. I know it's noisy here today. Sorry. It's fun though. I love to hear the kids. The kids are they're little laughter behind me. There's a school behind me. Anyhow, hope you're all well. I've said so many prayers for my friends in Florida. Thank gosh. Thank God. They're all well. There's some home damage and some tree down, and, electricity is not up. But they're going to be fine. Please say your prayers. Send positive energy. Send love and light, healing energy to the area. They need it. Don't believe like, oh, they're not going to return for decades, the tourism state. You know what? Let's not buy into what the political crap's going on about it. That just really irks me that here's where people are down on their luck and they're fearing even more. It's going to be years since the tourism state of Florida is going to come back. Oh, you know what? That's just negative energy. That's fear. Go take it somewhere else. Turn off your TVs. Love y'all. Like, subscribe, visit the blog, bring a journal, and we'll see you next week. All for now. Nina Zappala, Spiritual Personality Typing.